98 of megaprojects finish over schedule or over budget. For residential and commercial contractors, schedule slippage is the most reliable predictor of every other project problem. Cost overruns, subcontractor disputes, client dissatisfaction, and withheld final payments. The root cause is almost always planning gaps, not execution. A reliable schedule has 5 components: work breakdown structure, duration estimates, trade sequencing, float or buffer, and milestone triggers. Schedule slippage compounds. A 3-day delay in week 2 typically produces a 10 to 15-day delay by project end if uncorrected. Contractors who share the schedule with all subs from day 1 finish about 2.5 weeks faster on average. Why construction schedules fail is not usually the weather. The most common explanation is weather or difficult clients. These are real factors, but rarely the root cause. The underlying driver is a schedule that was never realistic to begin with. A schedule built backward from a desired end date, with no float and no trade input, is a wish list. When the first trade runs 2 days late, there is no buffer. The delays cascade. The other major failure mode is a schedule created in week 1 and never updated. The contractors who consistently finish on schedule are not better at predicting how long work takes. They are better at catching slippage early. A 3-day delay identified in week 2 costs 1 to 2 days to recover. The same delay identified in week 5 costs 2 to 3 weeks because downstream trades have already scheduled around the original date. First, build the work breakdown structure. Before you schedule anything, list every task the project requires. Most contractors skip this and jump to a timeline. That is why schedules miss things. Break the project into phases, then into specific tasks. Phase 1, pre-construction. Permits, contracts signed, subs contracted, long lead items ordered, site access confirmed. Phase 2, demo. Site protection, interior and exterior demo, debris removal, hazmat abatement if required. Phase 3, rough work. Foundation and structural, rough framing, rough plumbing, rough electrical, rough HVAC insulation, rough-in inspections. Phase 4, close-up. Drywall, hang, tape, finish coats, prime. Phase 5, finish work. Paint, tile, flooring, trim, cabinets, countertops, finish plumbing, finish electrical, HVAC finish, fixtures. Phase 6, closeout. Final inspections, punch list, site cleanup, owner sign-off. Every task should be assignable to one person and completable in 1 to 5 days. Tasks larger than 5 days get broken down further. Next, estimate durations realistically. The most common scheduling error is duration optimism. That is estimating at best case speed with a full crew and no interruptions. Use the 3-point duration estimate. Optimistic is best case, everything goes right. Most likely is normal pace, typical conditions. Pessimistic is realistic problems occur. The PERT formula is duration equals optimistic plus 4 times most likely plus pessimistic, divided by 6. For example, rough electrical for a kitchen addition. Optimistic is 1.5 days. Most likely is 2.5 days. Pessimistic is 4 days. The PERT calculation gives about 2.6 days, so schedule 3 days. Material lead times are tasks 2. Order long lead items the day the contract is signed. Custom cabinets take 4 to 8 weeks. Countertops from template to install take 2 to 3 weeks after cabinet install. Custom windows take 3 to 6 weeks. Appliances for specific models take 2 to 8 weeks. Missing a cabinet delivery date is the single most common cause of a residential schedule falling apart in the finish phase. Then map trade sequencing and dependencies. Every task has a dependency relationship with other tasks. Mapping these turns a task list into a schedule. There are 3 main dependency types. Finish to start means B cannot start until it finishes. For example, drywall cannot start until rough-in inspection passes. Start to start means B can start when it starts. For example, rough plumbing and electrical can overlap. Finish to finish means B must finish when it finishes. For example, paint prep and primer finish together. The critical path is the longest chain of dependent tasks. It determines minimum project duration. Any delay to a critical path task delays the entire project. Tasks not on the critical path have float. That is time they can slip without affecting the end date. Critical path tasks get daily attention. Tasks with significant float get weekly checks. A typical residential critical path is demo, framing, rough-in, inspections, drywall, paint, cabinets, countertops, final inspections, punch list. Add float and contingency buffers. A schedule with zero float guarantees lateness. Plan for reality. Use a project buffer. Place a time reserve at the project end equal to 10 to 15% of total project duration. For a 6-week project, add 4 to 5 days buffer. For a 12-week project, add 8 to 10 days. For a 6-month project, add 2 to 3 weeks. Do not show the client the buffer. Present the buffer date as your committed completion date. The buffer is your management tool. Use feed buffers where two work streams merge. For example, cabinet delivery and finish carpentry must both complete before countertop install. Place a 2 to 3 day feed buffer before the merge point. Then create and share the master schedule. A construction schedule needs to be accurate, shared, and actively maintained. It does not need to be elaborate. A sample schedule includes project name, start date, target end, committed end. Then list phases and tasks, responsible party, start and end dates, number of days, and status. For example, pre-construction. Permits by general contractor from April 22 to May 2, 10 days in progress. Long lead orders start April 22, 1 day order now. Demo. Interior demo by GC crew from May 5 to May 8, 4 days not started. Debris removal May 8 to May 9, 1 day. Rough work. Rough framing May 9 to May 16, 7 days. Rough plumbing sub from May 16 to May 20, 4 days. Rough electrical May 16 to May 21, 5 days. HVAC rough-in May 19 to May 22, 3 days. Rough inspections May 27, 1 day. Close-up, drywall May 28 to June 7, 8 days. Finish work, paint June 9 to June 12, 4 days. Tile June 10 to June 17, 7 days. Flooring June 17 to June 20, 4 days. Cabinets June 24 to June 27, 4 days. Countertops July 11 to July 12, 2 days. Finished plumbing July 8 to July 10, 3 days. Finished electrical July 8 to July 10, 3 days. Closeout, final inspections July 15 to July 16, 2 days. Punch list July 17 to July 21, 4 days. Final sign-off July 22, 1 day. Project buffer July 22 to July 28, 4 days. Committed completion July 28. Share this schedule with every subcontractor, telling them their start date and predecessor. Share with the client only phases and milestones. Share with materials suppliers' delivery dates. Share with inspectors pre-schedule windows. Before work begins, hold a 30-minute sub-kickoff meeting with all major subs. Walk through the sequencing map. Confirm each sub knows who precedes them and what site conditions they will inherit. Finally, monitor and update the schedule weekly. The schedule you build before the project starts as a forecast, not a contract. Update it as reality unfolds. Do a Monday morning schedule review that takes 15 minutes. Mark actual completion dates for tasks finished last week. Calculate slippage. How many days behind plan on each active task? Assess downstream impact. Does slippage affect the critical path? Adjust upcoming task dates accordingly. Notify any sub whose start date has moved. Use the 2-day rule. Any task 2 or more days behind its planned completion triggers immediate action. Identify the cause. Determine if it is recoverable. For example, Saturday work or overlapping a parallel task. If the critical path is affected, communicate to the client immediately. Clients told early about delays adapt. Clients who discover delays at the expected completion date dispute. Common construction scheduling mistakes include scheduling based on hope, not data. Use historical project data and sub-input for durations, not gut feel. No material lead time planning. Cabinets ordered in week 3 when needed in week 6 cause 3 to 4 week delays. Order at contract signing. Zero float. If every task must finish exactly on time to hit the end date will be missed. Schedule kept internal. If subs do not know their start date, they will prioritize another general contractor's job. Share it. No change order schedule impact assessment. Every scope change affects the schedule. Document the impact in every change order. Schedule not linked to payment milestones. When a milestone completes, the invoice goes out the same day. Frequently asked questions include what software is best. For small to mid-sized contractors, TaskTag, Jobber, and Buildertrend offer scheduling tools. For larger commercial work, Procore and Autodesk Build provide full critical path scheduling. For simple residential projects, a well-structured spreadsheet can be sufficient. The discipline of maintaining it matters more than the tool. How to handle a scheduled delay caused by the owner. Document it immediately as an owner-caused delay and issue written notice the same day. Owner-caused delays such as late selections, delayed approvals, or restricted access typically entitle you to a schedule extension and potentially additional costs. Log the cause and impact in your daily report. Should you share the full schedule with the client? Share a simplified version with major phases, key milestones, and the completion date. Do not show internal float or buffers. Clients will fill them with scope additions or treat every slip as a breach. The detailed work breakdown structure and float analysis are internal management tools. How to recover a schedule that is 2 to 3 weeks behind. In order, add crew or extend hours on critical path tasks. Overlap tasks planned sequentially that can be safely parallelized. Sub out tasks your own crew was handling to free them for critical path work. Have an honest conversation with the client about a revised date. Document the cause, recovery plan, and new date in writing. What is a look-ahead schedule? It is a 2 to 3 week rolling view of all near-term tasks, updated weekly. It is more granular than the master schedule. It shows exactly what needs to happen in the next 14 to 21 days, who is responsible, and what must be ready for each task to start. For projects over 8 weeks with multiple concurrent trades, a 3-week look-ahead is one of the most effective scheduling tools. A construction schedule that holds is not luck. It is realistic planning, dependency mapping, built-in float, and active weekly management. The same 3-day delay that derails an unmanaged project is a minor correction in a managed one. Build the work breakdown structure before building the timeline. Map dependencies before committing to dates. Share the schedule with every trade before work begins. Update it every Monday. Catch slippage in days, not weeks.